Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're starting a new chapter today, chapter number 7, Knowledge of the Absolute, text number 1. Shri Bhagavano Vacha Maya Sakta Manaha Partha Yogam Yunjanmat Ashrayaha Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yatha Gnasya Sita Shruno. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Now hear, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt." Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmanitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So Hare Krishna once again, and thank you so much for joining. We are starting a new chapter today, which is entitled Knowledge of the Absolute. Now, what is the purpose of Krishna giving knowledge about his own self? So that we can attain him, so that we can go back to the spiritual world. And this particular verse also gives us an indication, like the other remaining verses, we'll do up to verse number 14 today, that there are a lot of benefits just by hearing the Bhagavad Gita. The first point to note in today's verse is Sri Bhagavana Uvacha, which means the Supreme Personality of Godhead said. It's talking about Bhagavan. Bhaga means opulences, Van means possessor of those opulences. And we will find the definition of Bhagavan given by Parashar Muni, a great sage, who says, Ashwarasya Samagrasya, Virasya Yashashriya. He gives 6 opulences of the Supreme Lord that he has in full. In the material world, we may say someone is very wealthy but not beautiful, maybe is beautiful but is not famous or doesn't have knowledge or renown. So all the 6 opulences in full are there only in Krishna, which means he's not an ordinary person. He is the Supreme Lord. So when we hear the Bhagavad Gita, one should have that basic faith that this Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Supreme Lord himself. It's not by an ordinary person at all. And then once we start hearing more and more the Bhagavad Gita, then our faith will become very firm. So faith becoming firm is based on knowledge and practice. So what does Krishna tell Arjuna? Now hear, please hear. He's not saying please speak or please see. No, he's saying hear, because hearing is the first step to self-realization. Otherwise, it's not possible to advance spiritually. And how? By practicing Bhakti Yoga. Krishna says, practice Bhakti Yoga in full consciousness of me, mind attached to me. Then you will know me in full, free from doubt. And the doubt can be removed with the help of knowledge. So when we take our knowledge from a bona fide teacher and we try to understand and then try to practice Bhakti Yoga, and come to a stage where we are fully conscious of Krishna, not conscious of him 1 hour every Sunday, 8 to 9. No, it is always being conscious of him and the mind attached to him. Then Krishna says, you will know me in full. So this chapter, describes about knowledge of the absolute. Knowledge is very, very important. See, it's explaining how to become fully Krishna conscious and how to understand his opulences. You see, people know God is great, but this chapter will tell us how great is he when we hear about his opulences. You see, first 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita that we covered mostly dealt with the spirit soul and how the spirit soul is capable of making us become self-realized. You see, last chapter, which we did, number 6, clearly explained Dhyana Yoga, how to meditate, talked about elevating ourselves to the, or you can say, position of Bhakti Yoga. Because all forms of yoga, they are stepping stones to Bhakti Yoga. Now, Krishna is saying, mind attached to me, which means concentrating our mind on Him. How? By mantra meditation. When we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. When we chant, we are attaching our mind to Krishna. And when Krishna sees our sincere endeavors, then He will help us. He will bestow His mercy. So, purification of the heart begins with hearing. When we hear, when we take on the knowledge, hear the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita, then the mercy of the Lord also comes upon us. Then what will happen? The dormant love which is there within the heart will be revived again. It's there, but we don't recognize it. We haven't realized it. But when we do mantra meditation, because of purification, that dormant love gets revived. And the only process is Bhakti Yoga. When we perform Bhakti Yoga, then we transcend the 3 modes of material nature. And when we do that, and when we transcend ignorance, passion, goodness, and come to the level of pure goodness, then what will happen? All the impurities from the heart will go away. Only then we'll be able to understand Krishna. Now, the $1 million question is how to practice Bhakti Yoga. First of all, we need to take knowledge. We need to hear. Like Krishna says, Tat Shrinu, please hear. Arjuna, he took Krishna as his teacher. And so Krishna gave him full knowledge. And he also told him, Arjuna, there is nothing more to be known. All that I have given you in these 18 chapters, 700 verses, there's nothing more to be known. You see? Now, question may be, why did Krishna choose Arjuna to give this knowledge? It's because Arjuna is a devotee of the Lord and a friend of the Lord. So if there is no basic faith and devotion, we will not be able to understand Bhagavad Gita at all. In the verse 3, number 3, Krishna says, Manushya nam sahasreshu. Sahasreshu means out of thousands. Kaschit yatati siddhe. Hardly one tries for perfection. Yatatam api siddhanam. Out of all those who have achieved perfection. See, hardly one knows me in truth. This is what Krishna is saying. So we are very fortunate that out of thousands, we have shown interest in hearing the Bhagavad Gita, you see. And by taking on this knowledge and putting it into practice, we will come to the stage of perfection. We have noticed that very few are interested in self-realization. Very few are interested in knowing who am I, who is God. Mostly people are interested in enjoying the senses, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. See, but bhakti is very, very rare. It's a very rare opportunity, when we get to hear the Bhagavad Gita. It's not for everybody. Not everybody gets this opportunity. It's actually called a golden opportunity. You see? Brahmand Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. In this Brahman, in this creation, living entities are just roaming, taking different types of bodies. There are 8.4 million species of life, insects, birds, animals, aquatics, human beings, so many different kinds. And they are Brahmiti, they are just roaming in different species of life. But there is one Bhagyavan Jeev, that fortunate soul, who, with the mercy of Guru and Krishna, gets the seed of devotion. that is planted in the heart. And when the seed is planted in the heart, and when one starts doing mantra meditation, it's like watering that seed in the heart, which starts growing and then ultimately develops love for Krishna. You see, so it's a very rare opportunity. That is why in verse number 34 of chapter 4, we learned Krishna told Arjuna very clearly, Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadyakshanti te jnanam gnaninas tattvadarshinaha. That one needs to approach a bona fide spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, render service unto him. The self-realized soul, that is a Tattvadarshina, will impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. The bona fide spiritual master has seen the truth. He is the direct representative of Krishna, and he's the one who can give us Krishna. We cannot understand Krishna with our blunt senses. No, just reading books we cannot become a medical doctor. Just by reading books, we cannot become an engineer. We need to approach a bona fide teacher. We need to enroll ourselves in that university and qualify ourselves to get that degree. Same applies for spiritual knowledge also. We definitely need a bona fide spiritual teacher. So taking on the knowledge but not applying it, that becomes mental speculation. See, need to take knowledge but from bona fide source. Let me give you an example. Say, I want to know what's going on in the world. What are the news of the world? I'm not going to go to a grocery store and ask someone, or walking on the street, inquire from someone. No, I'll just switch on my television and I'll watch what? CNN. CNN is a recognized bona fide source of knowledge. That is the material knowledge. So on that CNN channel, I will get all the information that I need about what's going on in this world. Similarly, we need a bona fide teacher to understand the Bhagavad Gita from him. Otherwise, what will happen that if that knowledge is not from bona fide source, it is very dangerous. You see? Now, further on in this chapter, Krishna explains to Arjuna about his energies: earth, water, fire, air, ether. All these are material energies of the Lord, which is called Prakriti. Prakriti is also the energy of Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada in that verse very nicely explains how this creation takes place. That there are three Vishnus. We have heard about Vishnu, right? Lord Vishnu. There are three Vishnus. The one expansion of Krishna is Mahavishnu, that creates this total material energy. And then from him comes another Vishnu that is called Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And that Garbhodakshai Vishnu enters into all the universes. And from him comes another Vishnu who's called Kshirodakshai Vishnu, that enters into the heart of all living entities as the super soul. It's important to understand how this creation takes place, but Krishna says that this material creation is temporary. It is directed by these three Vishnus, it is temporary. And superior to all this material creation, superior are living entities, that is us, the spirit souls. But what is it? These living entities are exploiting the resources of the material world. You see, matter is inferior, but we spirit souls are superior. And this matter is manifested in different elements, you can say, like earth, water, fire, etc. And the matter moves only with the help of living entity, that is us. See, once the spirit soul leaves the body, this material body is useless. This material body is moving because there is spirit soul inside. Without the soul, the body cannot move. So important to understand that Krishna is the only controller. He's the one who's controlling everything. We are not the controllers. See, See, the reason we are not understanding what's happening, what's going on, is because we have forgotten our original position, that we are the servants of Krishna. And that is why we are suffering. Forgetfulness is a cause of suffering. And because of the false ego which is there within this body, the subtle body, false ego, we think we are the controllers, we are the possessors of everything. We possess our family belongs to us. This house belongs to me, everything. Nothing belongs to us. We came empty handed and we are going to leave this world empty handed. Nothing belongs to us. So important to understand what is our position and what is the position of the Supreme Lord. In verse number 6 of this chapter, Krishna says, I'm the source of everything. I'm the origin and I'm also the dissolution. You see? But we spirit souls, we are eternal. It's just this body that dies. It's just this body that gets destroyed. But the spirit soul, it's eternal. And this matter, which is created by the Supreme Lord, it's created by spirit. And this body is growing because there is spirit soul inside the body. So important to understand that this entire creation, it takes place because of the Supreme Lord in the form of Super Soul. He is the cause of all causes, and we are just his small parts. Mamaivamsha Jivaloke, Jivabhuta Sanatanam. That we are Amsha, we are parts of Krishna. He says, Mamai, you are my parts, and you are Sanatana, which means you are eternal. So, in verse number 7, very important verse, another important verse. Krishna says, Mataha Parataram Nanyat Kinchit Asti Dhananjaya. That there is no truth superior to me. This is what Krishna is saying. Everything rests in me. And he gives a very nice example. He says, just like the pearls are strung on a thread, right? There is a thread, and the pearls, inside those pearls, the thread is running, and that is why there's a beautiful necklace. Once we remove that thread, all those pearls are just going to fall down on the ground. And there's no way we can wear them. The reason we are able to wear the pearl necklace is because there is a thread running through those pearls. So Krishna is saying, everything rests on me just like those pearls are strung on thread. You see, that is another example that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, cause of all causes. And not only that, we also understand that he is a person. He's not impersonal. You see, in the Brahma Samhita, the very first verse recited by Lord Brahma is Ishvara Paramaha Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. Vigraha means form. He tells us, he gives us a knowledge that Krishna is a person. Vigraha means form. He has a form. And what is that form? Sat Chit Anand. He's eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. And as they say, man is made in the image of God. So if we have a form, obviously the Lord has to have a form. So he's not impersonal. He's a reservoir of all pleasure and the source of everything. Now, verse 8 onwards, Krishna starts giving us knowledge about his glories, about his opulences. Why? So that we can understand how great he is, right? Just like if I say I'm a great personality, then people will want to know what is great about me. What do I have? Maybe I have a $10 million home. Maybe I have, I'm a billionaire or whatever it may be. So people like to know the greatness. So Krishna is giving us knowledge. He says, I'm the taste of water. I'm the light of sun and moon. I'm the ability in man. We think that we are very capable. We can do this and that and everything. But that ability comes from Krishna. He says, I'm the heat and fire. You see? So when he gives all these opulences, when you have time, you please read those opulences. It shows that he is all pervasive, and you know how? By his energies. See, purity of the water and the pure taste is Krishna, because that is his energy. Light of the sun and moon comes from his effulgence, his Brahma Jyoti. You see, even the Omkara sound, you know, Om, people like to chant Om. Omkara sound is actually the sound representation of Krishna. Everything is Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. He's even the fire of digestion, without which we would fall ill. We would be sick. We won't be able to digest our food that we eat if Krishna does not help us by being that fire of digestion. Mhm. And in verse number 10, he says, Bijam mam sarva bhutanam. I am the original seed of all existences. All means all. 8.4 million species, all of them. He is the cause. He is the original seed of all existences. As I mentioned, the Vedas explain there are 8.4 million species of life. 3 million are quadrupeds, animals with 4 legs, 2 million trees and plants, 1.1 million insects and reptiles, 1 million species of birds, 900,000 of species in the water, the aquatics, and only 400,000 species of human beings, you see? And the philosophical intelligence is given only to human beings. And the intelligence that we have, Krishna says, comes from me. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhiyo. Buddhi means intelligence. Krishna says, only when one worships me with love and devotion, I give them the intelligence to understand me. So you see, from all these verses, we can understand everything comes from Krishna. But because in general, people are deluded by the three modes, you know, of goodness, passion, and ignorance, Krishna says they do not know me. They cannot understand me because I am above the three modes of material nature. See? Of course, we will learn more about the three modes in chapter number 14 of the Bhagavad Gita. You see? But now, today we take the last verse, which is number 14. Devi hi esha gunamai mama maya duratyaya. Krishna is saying this divine energy of mine is very difficult to overcome. But there's a solution. He says, but those who have surrendered unto me, they can easily cross beyond it. So even though this material world is a difficult place, it is a place of suffering, it is very, there's hard struggle for existence. But Krishna says it's very easy to overcome all this. Easily one can cross over this material world just by surrendering unto him. Now, surrender is a very big word. It's a heavy word. People do not like to surrender to anything or anybody. But this is the only solution. If we want to cross over this material world, if we want to go to the spiritual world after giving up this body, then the only solution is to surrender unto Krishna. And how does surrender begin? Surrender begins by hearing. Touch, Shrinu. Says Krishna tells Arjuna, just hear. So when we hear about the Bhagavad Gita, and then when we put it into practice, so the first step is hearing, second step is chanting, doing mantra meditation. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. When we do this, then gradually there is going to be purification. And also we will be able to understand this knowledge and be able to purify ourselves and go back to the spiritual world. See? We are living entities, the spirit souls, and we are parts, and we are divine like him. But because we are in contact with this material energy, we have become covered up and we become conditioned. So until and unless we remove this covering, we will not be able to experience happiness and peace in this material world. And that is possible through bhakti yoga. Then we will be able to become permanently happy. You see, we, being parts of the Lord, we belong to the superior nature, superior energy. But because we are contaminated, now we are conditioned in this material world and we are working under the inferior energy. And this conditioning also is because of the three modes of material nature. You see, they are called gunas. Trigunya, three different kinds of gunas. Guna actually means a rope. So we are tightly tied up with this rope of the modes of material nature. And because of that, most people are in illusion. They don't know how to free ourselves from this condition. And for that, we need guidance, a bona fide spiritual teacher who teaches us how to transcend these three modes and purify ourselves. Krishna is going to explain more in chapter number 14 about these three modes of material nature. So in this chapter, number 7, we are learning the benefits of hearing the Bhagavad Gita. Because Bhagavad Gita, they are the words of the Supreme Lord. Just as the very first verse we chanted, Shri Bhagavana Uvacha. Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, is speaking. So every word of the Bhagavad Gita spoken by the Lord is very powerful. The words of the Lord are non-different from the Lord. So the words also are as powerful as the Supreme Lord himself. These are, when we chant the Sanskrit verses, they are those powerful sound vibrations that help us in purification. You see? So what does Krishna tell Arjuna? Devihi esha gunamai mama maya duratya. The last verse that we did today, number 14, that if we want to cross over this material ocean of miseries, then we need to surrender. And surrender begins with mantra meditation. Theory is good, but there has to be some practical also, you see. So the simple process to attain spirituality, to attain the spiritual world is mantra meditation. So as always, I will chant the holy names of the Lord, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So I would request that all of you also please chant with me. Okay, we just chant 10 times and then you can chant in your free time as much as possible. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You see, it's very, very simple. So my humble request to all of you is please chant as much as possible. So we will end now. If anyone has any questions or comments, you are very welcome to ask.